we can have a double shot of Dum Dum in an 11-minute clip that's just, I mean, obviously going to be magic because it's Dan Bongino who is looking for TP for his bunghole. This is how we defeat big tech censorship and cancel culture. See, while Rudy's bitching about it with, you know, with the weird, I don't know, like Ichabod Crane dude, they're just over here solving it. Now, he doesn't have a radio show anymore, but hey, this is, he's got a guest on, Dave Rubin. Now, Dave Rubin, if you don't know, was a member of the Young Turks. And then he saw that the Young Turks business model sucked and realized there was a lot of right-wing money to be made just by switching over. Ooh, baby. So he just popped off and started his own show and had like a right-wing conversion. And that's where he is now because he knows what side of the bread his butter is on, buddy. And now he's hanging out with Bongino. Well, I guess we'll see what's printed here. It's probably this is how we defeat big tech. He's going to have the lightning words across there. But he's got Rubin on the show. And man, yes, get your 5 eggs ready because this is going to be a double dose of dum-dum. By the way, and I guess technically speaking, while they will complain about free speech in many of the same ways that Rudy and Ichabod Crane were, the reality is, I guess, is that Rubin kicked himself off TYT, and this asshole just kicked himself off of Cumulus Radio. So these are some self-canceling sons of bitches. Let's go.
All right, I'm really excited to welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you. There are 2 genders and 2 genders only. Go, lay that pipe at the beginning. And ladies and gentlemen, what are you, the MC at a comedy show in 1987? This is how we defeat big tech leftist cancel culture. This is way bigger than the other time.
Good friend and a warrior for free speech to the show, my friend Dave Rubin. Hey, Dave, thanks so much for joining us. Great job, by the way.
By warrior for free speech, he means he agrees with him on all the same points, and they talk to people they only agree with in their own little environments while talking as they talk more. They do, you know, it's like they do what I do, except they bring on people who agree with them and only talk to people that agree with them so that they know they're right.
For last night.
Dan, it's good to be with you. Man, what a day yesterday. Did we make a dent? I think we actually might have made a dent in the big tech Death Star.
Well, we're figuring it out, Dave.
Yeah, you totally did. Because Truth Social is coming out. Is that why?
And guys like you and me have figured that the economies of scale and scope, they work. I mean, the left figured that out a long time ago when they combined.
We did? We combined what? Sorry.
Forces and combined assets to fight against free speech because they're communist totalitarian losers that sadly they've had a lot of wins. And I saw a story like this yesterday.
Well, I mean, obviously, so just in case you were wondering, Dan Bongino had just said that the way to win is to be a communist totalitarian loser, that it's just a winning way to go. To be totalitarian, especially, is a winner, which is why these guys totally and totalitarianly only talk to people that totally agree with them. And they're, of course, communists because they believe in, corporate welfare, for me and none for thee.
To get your comment on before we get to locals and Rumble partnering up, George Soros, Reid Hoffman, names you're familiar with, left-wingers, big money, Reid Hoffman, the head of LinkedIn, combining with Nandini Jammy, the cat lady, in this new operation to censor people on the internet. And they're calling it, unironically, Dave, this is not a joke, Good Information Inc. Your thoughts?
Good Information Inc. Let's see what that is. Good Information Inc. Billionaires back new media firm to combat disinformation. This is this guy right here. Dangerous information, bad information, good information, disinformation, wrong information, disproven, misinformation. Oh, look, Tucker gets his own square. Here's a story of a chubby moron. Fake information. All right, so technically not information at all, really. And then where, that's it. And so we click on one of these. Okay, let's bad information. America's in an information crisis. And, we scroll down. Look at this. Disinformation threatening public health. Okay, 96 million basic. Okay, what else? Sign of good information does what? The need for new solutions is a civic incubator that invests in new business models and smart solutions to counter disinformation where it spreads by increasing the flow of good information online. Oh, I see. I almost read that as they're increasing the flow of good information when what they really are is eliminating people's freedom of speech online. They're not increasing good information. They're stopping the truly good, which they see as bad. Facts, trust, democracy, good information Inc. will invest in and partner with media companies and platforms that center the communication. That center the communities they deserve. That center the communities they serve, their interests and their media consumption habits in their reporting. Oh, centered in their reporting. Weird leap. And their content distribution strategies. Where it believes there's an urgent need to regulate. Here it is. There's an urgent need for regulation of social media platforms, as well as increased investment in new models that place a higher value on serving communities, truth over clickbait, and protecting democracy over profits. This is the advisory board. Tara McGowan, Dan Pfeiffer, who was in the White House under Obama, yeah. Eli Prazer, Maya Peterson, Robbie Myers, Jemmy, Mark Jacob, former Metro editor of the Chicago Tribune, completely suspect, Stephanie Valencia, Michael Tubbs, Keith Hernandez, Tiffany Muller, Alana. Okay, so these folks, Jen Gunter, who's a physician, God knows. Okay, our portfolio: the Courier Newsroom, Keystone, the Gander. Oh, there you go. It's basically a media conglomerate for this. America's, so you just sign. It goes to the same place. Really? I just click on the same square and any different square and it doesn't. Okay. 109 Americans can't name their governor. That's something worth combating. 96 million Americans believe the election was stolen. Well, only because I believe that there were a lot of people's votes that weren't counted because because Trump stole them. We'll just deal with it. 89 million Americans believe voter fraud is a major problem. I think that's a high number. 26 million can't name their state legislators. That's more forgivable. 185 Americans don't trust traditional media. That's a Forbes article. Fewer Americans than ever before trust the mainstream media. Gee, it's almost as if that's been a strategy for a very long time. Okay, so they're starting this, and they're going to have their own websites, and you can check their websites versus other stuff and compare what you're hearing.
You gotta love it, man. I mean, we are in 1984. George.
No, you're not. We are so fucking not. Because let's say, here's a good example. The Christian right. Remember those words? In like 1984, they take words that mean something and make them mean nothing. The Christian right is one of those organizations because they are not Christian in any sense of the word, and they're always wrong. So Christian right is the exact opposite of what you would call them a lot of times.
Well, would be proud of the work that he did, roughly 70 years ago, something like that. Of course, it's called good. It's called good. I mean, these people are ridiculous. First off, on the Soros.
Who drinks out of a coffee cup like that? We'll let that hang. That's just weird. All right.
Front. George Soros is evil. He is a lefty collectivist Marxist, evil billion.
Ooh, collectivist right out of the gate. Somebody's been reading Ayn Rand. The collectivists, like when you hear the word collectivist dropped, that's either a new follower of Ayn Rand or a deep reads follower of Ayn Rand. Yeah, and we went straight to Soros. I mean, it's a Soros organization, so this is a whole Super Jew clip.
Who funds all sorts of NGOs and nonprofits across the world that destroy Western societies. That is what his MO is. And by the way, before Media Matters, which I'm sure.
Well, he's not doing a very good job, honestly. And by the way, are you telling us that George Soros was behind January 6th? That would be news.
Is watching this says that Dave Rubin, uses some anti-Semitic trope. It has nothing to do with his religion. It's his actions. Okay, so that.
Yeah, it's his actions being a money-grubbing globalist. Right.
That's number one. As for Reid Hoffman, this is the co-CEO of Netflix, who over the summer pumped millions and millions of dollars into ads on YouTube to take out our friend Larry Elder, who was running a really great campaign. And then suddenly.
Totally great. It was great. great. I mean, it's not great for Netflix employees or the women that work there, especially, but great otherwise.
When they realized that the recall was legit and Larry actually had a chance, next thing you know,
He had the chance to be governor while only garnering 12% of the vote.
got millions from Reid Hoffman basically calling Larry Elder a white supremacist and saying he wants to kill
Well, I mean, it's obviously not a white supremacist. It's a did he call him out as one? Because that's fun. Play that clip.
kids because of that.
Larry Elder is black. I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying he's a bigot or serving interests other than his own folks. I suppose you could make that argument, but obviously not. White supremacy is that's a hard sell point.
Then you've got Obama and Biden here and everything else. So this is what we're up against.
Wait a minute, Obama and Biden in California? The fuck is happening? When did California go blue? I thought this was Devin Nunes' state to do with what he would.
So, the funny part to me is that maybe 3 years ago when I would see stories like this, I'd be like, the machine just has so much power. It has so much energy. It's like there's nothing we can do. But because of the events of yesterday and some of the other things that Dan, you and I and some of our friends are working on, it's like I have hope right now. I really, really do.
Yeah, they have hope about making money off of this absolute right-wing paranoia. This is what he's talking about, by the way. It's like there's a new villain in town because Soros is funding this media thing. That's just stories. He was getting bored with his own bullshit. And now this thing shows up and oh my God, gravy train.
Yeah, I have hope too, Dave. This Rumble's local partnership.
Thank you, Treva.
Rumble's been a free speech alternative to YouTube and is focused strongly on building the railroad of the internet, the pipes, and that's working out well too.
Is it? Oh, you mean like what's the word? Infrastructure?
Rumble's not just a video company.
Don't say infrastructure.
But I had my eyes on locals for a long time. You and I have been discussing this for a while because I thought your idea was genius. You explained a little bit, I heard in many of your media appearances, how the whole experience with some people in the space, Carl and others, how they were attacked. And you were like, listen, we can't have this. We got to have a...
Hold on. Wait a second. What the living hell? No.
Direct connection between creators, content creators, you, me, by the way, not just politics. You want to get music, you have some poems you want to read on locals, knock yourself out.
Yeah, finally a space that's safe for poetry. That's what he's really been worried about. That's what Rudy ends up getting to in that other fucking boring video that was grinding on for fucking ever, is that eventually we're going to get to where's poetry going to find its home again? You can't do it. They won't even let you rhyme anymore.
It's not a political site. It's just a free speech site. You said we have to connect to create.
So you can post like child porn and videos of just like people have taken of domestic violence that they've carried out on their children and their mates and that kind of stuff, or people can just post snuff films, that kind of free speech stuff. We don't want to slow anything down, man. It's free speech, baby. No rules on the interwebs. You want some revenge porn? This is the dude you go to, kiddo. You can either go to Lindell TV/Frank, or you can go right over here. Yeah, if you want, like, we should all just go over there and dump some naughty limericks, right? Beheadings, absolutely. ISIS. I know you've been having a hard time finding a place where you can put your account up and put your videos on. These are your dudes. It doesn't even have to be political. You can read poetry while you do it.
The supporters and these patriots directly, and you develop locals.
Patriots or, Macedonian hacker farms posing as Americans. Who gives a fuck? It's all about ad rev. We need more. The more the merrier.
The audience how it works, where they can find it, and what spurred you to do it.
Well, I love the way
what spurred you to do it.
Intro that because first off, yeah, it's not just for politics people. Yeah, you and I are creatures of politics, but This is for everybody.
I would have stopped at creatures, actually.
And by the way, cancel culture is not just coming for politicians and people that talk about politics, right? Dave
Yeah, poets are fucked.
Chappelle knows a little something about that right now. Like, they will come for you if you have any unique thought whatsoever. So,
Well, no, they're not. If that was true, Gary Busey wouldn't even be allowed out of the house. He'd be just mobbed all the time because that man is all unique thoughts all the time.
for 5-6 years,
Good point, Bob Carmody, by the way. Vogue on poetry is the one excluded point. But it's also alien poetry, and they don't get Earth. The Bill of Rights doesn't apply to aliens. Real ones.
my show, I was talking about the leftist assault on free speech. At first, I was talking about it as a lefty, right? And obviously,
Now I'm talking about it as a full of shit grifter who'll just talk to anybody who wants to gripe with me on my show.
that's not my position anymore. But I kept saying, between big tech, between the cultural norms, no one's going to be allowed to say anything soon enough. And
Yeah, these stupid cultural norms where you can't post, nude pictures of children. Oh, you know what? Rubin's sick of being marginalized. That's the marginalized community. The way the KKK has been marginalized. The way pedophiles, or I guess they call themselves MAPs now, have been marginalized by the community. Why is it that there are some thoughts that are just not allowed? Shit.
forward to 2021. I mean, here we are. Dan, you may remember back in July, right before I went off the grid for August, the last thing that happened to me was I was banned on Twitter for saying that federal vaccine mandates were coming. Yeah, they came. They're
Is that what you were banned off for saying that they're going to happen? Was that all you said? Hold on. Rubin kicked off Twitter. So, let's see. Let's see. So, what did he say real quick? Let's just go back. Why did they kick you off Twitter, Dave?
that federal vaccine mandate.
Sorry, hold on. Wait, sorry. Why'd you get kicked off Twitter?
Dan, you may remember back in July, right before I went off the grid for August, the last thing that happened to me was I was banned on Twitter for saying that federal vaccine mandates were coming. Yeah, they came, they're here, and they're pushing even more. But the beautiful...
Sorry, that's why you were kicked off? That's all you said? So you tweeted, vaccine mandates are coming, and Twitter kicked you off. And that's what you want to say in just what you said. And so if I go to the tweet, what you said was just that vaccine mandates are coming. Is that what I'm going to find? Let's hear that one more time. What was that? What was that, Dave?
It was banned on Twitter for saying that federal vaccine mandates were coming.
Okay, so he was banned on Twitter for saying vaccine mandates are coming. Well, let's see. What was it? Let's see. Insanity. Twitter just locked out Rubin report. Everything he said is 100% accurate. Another instance, Democrats, big tech working together to censor political distance. Here's the tweet that got him kicked off. Let's go to that. Let's go to an up close and personal. This is the tweet that did it. They want a federal vaccine mandate for vaccines. Well, there he goes. That's all he needed to say. Obviously, just saying they wanted it got him kicked. Oh, wait, there's more. Which are clearly not working as promised just weeks ago. So the vaccine is not working. And the assumption would be, all right, people are getting and transmitting COVID despite the vax. Plus, now they're prepping us for booster shots. A sane society would take a pause. We do not live in a sane society. So this is all basically the reason he got kicked off is he violated the terms of service about the medical misinfo about the effectiveness of the vaccines. People are getting and passing it with the idea that they're dying from it and that it's not working as it said. All vaccines, you can still get it a lot of vaccines, you can still pass it, but you won't die from it, which is the point. But that's not what David got kicked off. Dave got kicked off for saying they want a federal mandate for vaccines. Not for the part which they are clearly not working as promised just weeks ago. And he's got a blue check mark most of the time. So, but I was wrong. That's all he said. All he said was they're coming. Right?
Yeah, they came, they're here, and they're pushing even more. But the beautiful thing was, because I had created Locals, a place where we owned the tech, I could directly communicate with my...
Oh, unlike Parlor, where they just use and I know that there's some asshole who was behind Parlor who never bothered to buy the full security features. He just used the WordPress security thing to protect people's private information on Parlor. Some asshole who's behind Parlor did that. I wouldn't say this about Locals, Dave, if I were you, in front of an asshole like that. I don't know who it was. I can't remember. But somebody... Anyway, so yeah, so you own Locals. You started Locals to compete with Getter and Parlor and Fucker and Truther and Dopey and Doc.
Community through iOS app, Android app. I could live stream. So even though Twitter took me out, I was still live streaming to thousands of people. I could get...
That's your primary live stream point? Dude.
Notifications out to them. That then allowed my people to contact guys like you on Twitter and put the public pressure on until Twitter actually took back their suspension and said it was an error. Now, of course, it wasn't an error. It was just that I had enough public pressure. I had the tech to force the issue. And that's what I want for everybody. I want you to own your stuff. I want you to own your video and audio. I don't want to own your video and audio.
Okay, so let's see, hold on. So did he just launch this? I'm sorry. There you go, Locals there. So basically, Locals, find creators or communities, empowering authentic communities. The content you love from the people you love. I think it's Dinesh D'Souza and Bongino and Coffee with Scott Adams, who's, good fun. There's Rubin. And it's Tulsi Gabbard. Look at that. And Gothics. We like Gothics. She's all right. She's a little confused sometimes, but she's all right. Z-Dog MD. All right. Liz Wheeler. She seems not caring at all. Kim Iverson. Look at these folks. You can sign up. And it doesn't have to be politics. I mean, sure, you got Charlie Kirk and China Uncensored's got another thing. And I'm sure there's something on here. We got to scroll down. There's got to be a fucking poet in here somewhere. Didn't know anything's coming. Welcome to my Locals page. Babylon B, Chef Gruel. Nope. Kayvon's here. Nope. Look, Dr. Drew. So it's just basically an asshole magnet. There's Ariel. She's all right, I guess. Authentic communities. It's basically a subscription site. They just borrow and they just use an Amazon server space for whatever they have, and then they take a slice. Support creative independence. Pay the creator, not the platform. It's basically an alt version of a Patreon where you send it directly to it. And thank God there's a place to go see Tulsi. Anyway, so they've started this site, and I'm sure it'll do great. I'm sure it won't be buried under the pile of all the other ones. Was Gutfeld on there?
Digital homes. That's why this thing with Rumble is so cool.
That's what it is. It's like not so much digital homes, Dave. It's sort of a digital gated community.
Because we're building the home. So your home for your content, your community. You own the data, your user data. If you leave us, by the way, you can have the data. We don't need to own it. It's all yours. We're not selling it. But then what you said about the pipes,
which is also true of Patreon and the other sites, and keep copies of your shit. Yeah.
The internet. That's what we needed. So we built the homes, but homes can't exist without infrastructure underneath. You need water, you need electricity, you need all that stuff.
Yeah, you need sewage. You're going to need a lot of sewage. I've seen who's on there. Yeah, sewage is going to be a big problem. Just saying, there's going to be a lot of clogged toilets. You're going to need to have a sign on the Locals website that says, please only toilet paper in the shitter.
That's what Rumble is doing. So we're not going to be kicked off the way Parlor was blown apart. And by the way, that was
Oh. It was blown apart. Ow. He's sitting right there. That's not, ow.
Mafia tactic by big tech because, it wasn't that they were upset.
Owie. Oh, does Rubin know? You have to know. Fucking Bongino was behind Parlor. He was one of the early investors. They totally shit the bed. He wasn't attacked by mafia tactics. They had a screen door on their battleship. Fucking hell. This is, maybe that's hard. Shit. Watch Bongino's face when he says this. Son of a bitch.
So we're not going to be kicked off the way Parlor was blown apart. And by the way, that was a total mafia tactic by big tech because, it wasn't that they were upset that coordination on January 6th had happened on Parlor because we know that most of it happened on Facebook.
It was that it was a shitty website with no security features. It wasn't blown apart, fucko.
It was a mafia tactic because there was a new guy in town and he was making some money and they took him out. So
way to save it. Yeah, bring him. That's what they did. There's a new guy in town. He was too hot for AM.
Really right now, we don't have all the pieces, right? Like
I know it's a screen door on a on a submarine. I was making the point that there's no security on that. Never mind. Wasn't the end it was sank, but never mind.
I don't want to overpromise, but we have a lot of the pieces and we're working on the other pieces. That's why this is really as great a partnership as you possibly can find.
Yeah, we're building.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's certainly better than partnering with some asshole who only uses the trial version of the security software on a website, leaving all of the users' data open to even the lowest rung hackers on the internet. It's obviously better than that, Dave. So thanks for bringing it up. Shit.
And just an incredible redundancy to make this thing.
Yes. Say Parlor again. Motherfucker, I said say Parlor again.
Proof in the future. And Dave, I think one of the most important points you just brought up there, when Twitter tried to cancel you had this backup system. Yep. We're not.
Hold on. Wait, Andrew says they don't know that yet. The FDA said themselves. There's a video out there saying it will be 5 more years before they know if it works and the dangers. Hey, Jay, everyone has a choice. No, it isn't. They had emergency authorization use. It's safe and effective. It lowers your chances of going to the hospital and dying from it, just like all other vaccines do. I already did. There's no I don't know, maybe. There's no maybe. Statistically, that's how it works. It's not going to change your fucking DNA. All that's nonsense. It works. It's functional. And even the heart issues that they say, myocarditis and stuff like that, is having more to do with the fact that they actually hit a vein instead of putting the vaccine in a muscle. That is literally the primary reason why that's happening. Fuck.
With Twitter, we don't.
Yeah, it's from Parler, the French, right? And they managed to make that sound dumb, which is where Parlor comes from. Well pointed out. Yeah.
Need to. We're saying very simply, Twitter's a middleman, folks. They're allowing you to get your information out to their platform. Locals is an app and is a website, but we're not the middleman. It's your data. We don't want it. We're not interested in it. I don't mean that.
Oh, so you're involved in it again. Okay, so they're not interested in your data, guys. They're not interested. They don't want your data. You can have it. Along with everyone else. Everyone else can also have your data because it's going to be a fucking security mess like all the other shit.
Interested in, we want you there. We don't want your data. It's
yes. Do not mess with Bongino. He has a podcast. Oh heavens.
You are sovereign over your data. It is you. Locals is about you. It's not about us. We just gave you a platform for you to.
We just made a platform to slice off a chunk of your earnings. They're not trying to make money off of your stuff. You own your shit. All they're trying to do is start a commie website where they equally sponge off everyone. It's a commune. That's what it is. It's a digital commune. It's a narco-syndicalist website. Shit.
Directly your data. And like you said, and I want to reiterate, it's not just about you and I. Our entire lives are politics. Yeah, I don't care if you're a poet, a comedian, you have content. Do not let Twitter and Facebook Live take it for you for free. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, it's terrible when Facebook Live steals your poetry. The fuck?
Why are you giving it up then for free? Connect directly to an audience. You can put some free content out there. I have some that's behind a subscription on locals.com, which insulates me from any ad pressure. And you, Dave, follow Rubin Report. We got the next.
Yeah, because if an ad runs, then you start having to agree with anything that Geico does, and then you might as well be a slave.
Sousa, Coffee with Scott.
They run. I don't want to part with all those Epic Times ads. So I got to play footsie with those guys.
I'm sorry, Dave. I know I'm going on, but I'm very excited. I've had my eyes on this for a while because you really tapped into something here.
You're really tapped into something. We can rebrand Parlor's media portion as something else to get the stank of Parlor off of it. And we've got all these unused servers as everybody that was on Parlor ran to Telegram to follow Lynn Wood over there and now is jumping over to Truth Social where they're going to eat shit over there as well. And because the whole website's built on fucking Flash or some nonsense.
That the essence of this movement going forward is not just the pipes, but it's the home that you own. It's your data. You own everything in it.
Well, that's
Yeah, it's almost like, what would I call it? Oh yeah, a website. You own it, like a URL you buy and start a website. Now, understand you own your local's home. If you go on there, you build your empire there. You own it. I mean, if their website goes down, your shit goes with it, but it's yours. And if they decide at some point to change their terms of service because they want to make it a safe space for right-wingers and decide that after a while, I start posting, shit on Trump videos and then I don't monetize them on purpose so that they don't get a slice, they'll just get mad at me for using up server space and they'll kick me to the curb. But it's yours. That's the important thing. There's some lovely filth down here.
like calling it a digital home because it's like the guy that built my house, he built.
Yes, it's a digital home. It's with digital throw pillows and an incinerator.
House. I paid him for the house and then he left. He's not now responsible for what I do in the house. So it's a very clean metaphor for how this thing operates. I'll tell you something awesome, which is that when
does that guy take a portion of the income you make while you live in that house? If so, fire your realtor, dum-dum.
I was raising funds, and you know how
I'm sorry, I have a thing for shitty metaphors.
It is to raise funds for tech, sure. Especially when, you're thought of as, sort of scary and conservative and that sort of thing. And we had a lot.
Neither of you are thought that way. Bongino's a little scary just kind of in general, but it has nothing to do with his politics. It's the way he leans in and sniffs and kind of like hulks up on his microphone. It's the closest thing to it. There's officially nothing frightening about Dave Rubin, ever. Like if you saw Dave Rubin in an alley, in a dark alley, you'd go, wow, this dark alley has a manager.
Doors closed in our faces. But I was at one dinner less than a year ago. This is even before we started talking to Rumble. It was it was December in Miami last.
Tell me the truth. I don't know what to believe. When was it?
December. And I'm sitting at a table, a bunch of investors there, like well-known, powerful investors. And
oh, yeah, of course. Money people. Yes, globalists. I hear you. Was George Soros. I hear you. Right. Go ahead.
On my locals, I just a post. I said, hey, I'm sitting at a table with a bunch of investors right now. Can you guys give me your brutally honest assessment of what locals has been like for you guys? I did not even look at the responses, and then I just handed my phone around the table to the investors, and we got investors at that meal. So,
wow. So it's almost as if they were already bought in on the idea of a right-wing platform to work around and make money off of right-wing talk because they know that tit hangs low and is full of milk all the fucking time. And they realize that any money that Trump's leaving on the table that he doesn't sucker out of people at the Save America rallies and on his website. It's got to be floating out there somewhere. Let's just hoover that shit up for the price of hosting some servers on the Amazon network. And how many people were on there? Fucking 2. What, are you going to get a bad review from Bongino? And who else was on? Who was going to be on there that was going to shit the bed? Where is it? The fuck was that? I thought I had it. Where's the? All right, let's put it back up. Locals. All right, there we go. Yeah. So who on here? Were you afraid that Dinesh D'Souza was gonna give you the real inside hit on the? My wife Debbie wishes that you. My wife Debbie, of course, thinks that the site could be slightly more racist. Really? The Tulsi Gabbard didn't have any issues? I got shitty signal out here in Hawaii. These are all people who've joined since then. Hey, like Viva Barnes Law was in there since November 1st, 2020. These are, you can tell who's joined. Then they Charlie Kirk's relatively new. He's very excited to be here. You know me, Park. Who's the early adopters? These are the posts. Who's been here the longest? So Coffee with Scott Adams was there, April 13th, 2020. He hasn't posted since? Shit. Intro video. See more content from this community. Gothic's just joined in June. Rubin's been there only since May 4th. What? You're going to just see if it took off? Shit. No, and by the way, I'm for this. I'm a big fan. Go for it, locals. Nothing's better than these assholes who are spreading themselves thin across 9 different sites while they all get vampired by the same advertisers.
That tells you we have built something. Imagine doing that with Twitter. Imagine handing your phone for a bunch of investors to look at your Twitter responses, your Facebook responses. But when you have just...
Facebook knows that the angrier people are, the more money they make. The investors sitting around the table would go, holy shit, this is incendiary. It's kind of like our trolls. We have some trolls in the chat room today. And hi, guys, thanks for being here. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. Because you guys, when you watch, if you just hate watch my show, sure, it helps. I mean, it calculates the watch time and all that stuff. But the minute you start typing stuff, the algorithm says, shit, not only are they watching, but this guy is engaging. So people want to watch, and it's getting them up off their ass and on their keyboards, which means they're more likely to watch advertising. They're more likely to stick around during ad breaks. They're more likely to wait and click through an ad in person. And that means they're in a highly emotionally charged state. They're typing away, and they're watching an ads, which is perfect, like subliminal advertising. That's the kind of shit that YouTube and Facebook and all these sites go for. They love the trolling. So, and again, remember, give a thumbs up and a like to the show, guys. It always helps. But also, if you feel like giving us a thumbs down, knock yourself out, because that's just as engaging. The algorithm does not give a fuck. I don't know how many times I have to tell people this, but trolls, you help us no matter what you say. Now, obviously, if you spew racial epithets or you're just generally bullying or violent, you got to go. I mean, yeah, you're in someone else's house. Mind your business. Or at least if you're going to be shitty, just know that we're going to broom you. And at the same time, you will be forever an example of how, as a representative of your side of the political sphere, you show them to be scumbags before you're shown the door. That's just life. If you have the vocabulary and you're able to articulate your ideas, you can stick in a way that's not violent or racially or I guess sexually insensitive in terms of, people's being, then we don't really have a problem with it. As a matter of fact, like I said, you help. You get it's amazing when you can't use the racial epithets and the swear words and that kind of stuff, and you got to actually type out your thoughts. That is engagement, kids. So I know that. I figured that out a while back. And the algorithm, like I said, doesn't give a shit. What the algorithm will do, if you watch and you don't want to watch this show, you have a different algorithm than the people who regularly watch the show. People who regularly watch my show have 4 or 5 things they also watch. And if you see in YouTube, for example, there's always this, people who watch this also watch this, that introduces you to new things related to what you watch. That's how the algorithm works. Now, it only works so far if people are insulated in an ideological bubble. But when trolls come in, I show up in their feed. And people who aren't even related to that person, the troll who's watching, who types something in, if they watch something that person also watches regularly, they'll start offering my show to those folks. Now, those folks might be all in like that troll and be another troll, and it'll attract another troll and spread it even further. Or they might be half on the game of that troll. Like they think some of the shows they watch are good, and then they hate watch other stuff, and they're trolling the anti-troll stuff or what have you. And during that process, my show spreads because of that interaction. So the trolls are a valuable part of our growth here on the channel. And we've seen that as we've allowed, as we've expanded and the trolls have started to show up, I can actually track in the insights that they give me on the different channels, how it, boosts me over time through that. Yeah, so trolls keep coming back. Don't worry about it. And also know this, though. My chat is different than a lot of other what you would consume as left-wing chats, in that we don't give a fuck. We don't get upset. Our feelings aren't hurt. We don't go, oh Lord, he said, let's go, Brandon. Oh no. Right? Nobody cares. We really don't. It's amusing. Even when you're genuinely awful, some random person that we have in here who might be more sensitive than the rest might, if you say something truly violent or truly racist, might have oh my goodness. But the rest of us are like, who's this asshole? And more to the point, who do they think they are? Because apparently they're convinced that they're interesting. So I'm fascinated by this whole thing. Now, they are going to develop on Locals, I have no doubt, an anti-trolling thing just like Truth Social, which, by the way, my rules in my chat are less of a confinement on your ideas than Trump's Truth Social rules. You are allowed to speak more freely as a troll in my chat than someone on Trump's site. They will kick you to the curb. Like, people can shit talk me because I don't care. But if you shit talk Trump on Truth Social, they'll kick you out for, and I'm quoting, for any reason or no reason at all. Because that's America. All right.
$2 paywall, you clean up 99% of the mess. And by the way, one of the ways we're really dealing well with free speech is that you can come into my community, you can say whatever you want. If you break the laws of the United States, you got a bigger problem than me. But let's say you come into my community, you pay the couple bucks a month to get in there, and then all day long you're just, talking crap about me. Well, either I profit from you, or I can boot you out of my community, but you're not booted out of Locals as a platform, meaning I'm just saying, hey, you can't come into my house.
Yeah, I'm not going to even tell the other people that I interact with on Locals that you're a racist psychopath and you post beheading videos in my chat all the time because, you think it's sport, and you're doing it in a way where you're not directly promoting it. You're just using it as like just putting GIFs up, because there's nothing technically illegal in the laws of the United States about posting those kind of things. So you can just lay it out there. And technically speaking, if what you're posting is not verified child porn, then who can say if that's if she's 9 or 19? Honestly, right, Dave?
And talk crap about me, right. But you could still go into Dan's if he wants you there, et cetera, et cetera. So we're treating.
Yes, Dan loves people to come into his chat and talk crap about Dave Rubin. Did you hear what that motherfucker said about Parlor?
the speech issues in a way that is much more relevant. It's much more in kind to how we all deal with it on a day-to-day basis than the way big tech just takes you out because
Yeah, get the fuck out of my house and go into Dave's house. You can do whatever the fuck you want until Dave kicks you out.
you happen to say that men and women have biological differences.
Yeah, and I love that analogy, Dave. And by the way, if you want to pay to join my community to insult me, go right ahead. I will take you. Come right on in, folks, because I will use.
Yeah, but why? But why would I do that when I can insult you here for free? The fuck?
Money to donate to conservative candidates. So please go right at. Reminds me of Dana Lash's mailbag, where she reads mean tweets on the air to raise money in a sponsored segment, which is a great job by Dana. Dave, you've been generous with your time. Congrats with this spectacular success of Locals. It's been amazing, folks. I'm going to ask you.
Yeah, it's huge. There's nearly 30 people in their creators thing. Hold on. I need to look up something. Join creators. Let's see. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to click on their creator. I've been thinking about Control Your Destiny with Tulsi Gabbard. She's going to walk. Oh my God. What happened to Tulsi? Good Lord. Locals is for independent creators. Publish your content, engage with your supporters, and make money from subscription evil. Hi, I'm Dave Rubin. Are you a poet, but your poems are too racist for YouTube? Hello. How it works. Okay, 1, create a community. I already did that. Shit on it. 2, set your price. My price is whatever people feel the laughs and information I give them are worth, and therefore they can either become a patron or they can use this Venmo. A lot of people will do just that. I don't set a price. I ask for support, but I don't insist on it. I don't put anything behind a paywall. It's a dick move. That's the kind of shit people like Bongino do. Publish content. All right, done. Engage with supporters. I do that. I also engage with everyone else. I don't know what kind of weird, like do you only talk to people who subscribe? Kind of an asshole. Kind of locals. If you change this fucking thing to townie. Get paid. Boom, 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 boom. I feel like I need some sort of like, do I have a, hold on. There's gotta be a, no, that's not it. Shit. Huh. Do I have, oh, it's in here. Get paid. Take your money, man, and get paid. Oh, grow your community. Get paid. All right. Sorry. Shit. Publish your content. Locals exclusive podcast. Yes. It's a gated community. It's not a fucking house. It's a gated community for right-wing content. Where else will you hear my Jim Gaffigan backstory? I can't wait. Schedule is, you never find content like this on YouTube for free forever. Shit. Publish your content library. We host all your video and audio and content and turn into an ad-free library for your supporters easily. Schedule release, notify members. So what happens if you don't want to charge? Community interactions, direct manage, live messaging, subscribers, monetize through subscriptions. So you got to get 500. So you got to get them to do that. This is, oh, look at that. 500 subscribers at 10 a month. You're getting 4205. So well, that's not 500 plus 500. We got 5,000, and yet is someone taking $805 and $795 worth of where'd the $795 go? Apparently the person who built my house is stealing $700 out of every $5,000 I make. Good Set your contribution levels. Promo codes. Yeah, don't forget. You are in control. You are in control. Gross revenue is Yes, people are making $305,000 in 7 days on there. with 25,000 members. I'm sure this is not just a graphic. This has to be the number of subscribers that are all on this thing. Yes, everyone else is going to sign up like everyone else on the site. Moderation, you decide what supporters are allowed to post and what goes on in your community. So it's basically your own 1984. You just do your own private 1984. There's a dashboard. Wow, what streaming website would ever think of a thing like a dashboard? Member data. It's your data, and you can export it at any time and sell it. The help desk. Oh, shit. I have problems. I need to... Okay, how's this? Creators and billing. Creators managing your community. How do I manage my community? Let's see. How do I give free trials to members? Very popular. What does it mean that Locals only has paid subscription communities? What is it? Locals is for independent creators to publish content, engage with supporters, and make money from subscriptions. So what does it mean? What does it mean? What will happen to my free community? You as a creator... Oh, wait. Hold on. Starting January 25th, all new communities on Locals will be paid communities. That's right. Freedom of speech ain't free. Oh, yeah. Freedom of speech ain't free. It costs about $10 a month that somebody takes every 2 of every 10. All right. Any free communities started before January 25th will be converted to a paid community. So fuck you. What will happen to my free community? You as a creator can still continue operating and posting content as you know. However, for members to post and comment, they will need to subscribe. It does not mean you have to start paying to keep a community. We only take a cut of what you make off a subscription. Oh, you only... but your free subscribers will be shown the fucking digital door. That's right. They're going to be kicked off the fucking Titanic. There's no safety net. Who gets the money that my subscribers pay? We encourage you to connect your Stripe account. So, because they have a deal with Stripe. Is that one of the supporters? Dave? Was that one of the people at the table? Folks at Stripe? Because that conversation you were talking about where you were passing the shit around, that was when you had free communities. You didn't pass it around after the pay community deadline? All right. So you can, so any subscriptions made will be paid directly to you. However, if you cannot set up your Stripe right away, don't worry. Locals will hold the money until you're able to set up that Stripe account. Once you do, you can't use any other version. Oh, no. What if I can't? What if I don't connect a Stripe account? We are aware that Stripe may not be an option or want for everyone. Therefore, we will be adding an option for you to convert your subscription earnings to Locals coins instead, where you can use the coins to subscribe to other communities you're interested in, along with more opportunities to use coins coming. They're starting their own dipshit crypto. What a fucking grift. Yes. And of course, yes, big tech. Absolutely. Has anyone heard of the Hodge twins? They're a bunch of sellouts. You need to get re-education. What's right and wrong? I used to listen to the Hodge twins when on their early stuff when they were like mostly like weightlifting shit. And now they just went right wing, kind of like Dave, because that's where the money is. I had a joke about them for a while when the Osundario brothers attacked Jesse Smollett. I was like, what? He hired the 2 Nigerian dudes to beat him up and pretend they were MAGA people. And I was like, why, were the Hodge twins out of town? All right, anyways. I have a paid community. Does this affect me? Nope. If you had a paid community where you have a Stripe connected already, this transition does not affect you at all. Well, what a stupid fucking idea. What? Of course not. So anyways, so it's a skim. It's basically these guys are just scraping money off the table. Of course the fucking investors all said yes, dipshit. Even the people complaining are paying to be there to complain. Say Parlor again, motherfucker. Say Parlor again. Seriously. You're an investor. You're sitting around this table, and you're like, you see all these people who are bitching? Yeah, they're paying $2 a week to bitch. They're what? Yeah, they're all paying $250 a week minimum to complain. Oh shit. Yeah, they've been there for weeks. They write shit when they do like shit, and they write shit when they hate shit. And they know they can't go anywhere else because we've told them that basically this is where free speech is. So they think they have to pay for our shit to prove they love free speech, which they're paying for, which is fucking brilliant. I'm in. It's fucking coins. The fuck? You have the locals coins. Are you shitting me? Call of Duty points have more monetary value. I mean, how many udders do maggots have? Seriously, who's the runt in this litter who can't find a tit on one of these maggots? Just everybody's like, Trump's got the big one, and then everybody else is just milking the shit out of these idiots. And then he's bought in on it with some of his money that he took his earnings off the top when Parlor started to surge before the collapse.
And with humility and respect, to please go out, download the app. Download the app today. I want to drive it to #1.
Yeah, please download it because he just told his radio show to go pound sand, so he needs the money, and he invested in it. Fuck.
Top 10, please.
Yes, it's a MAGA human centipede. Right. It's all these. Trump's in the front, and there's Bongino and fucking Rubin and all these people, and it's a shoe. It's like the snake in Conan. It's like two snakes facing each other, but they are one.
App, we've been rocketing up the charts. It was a genius idea. I'm proud to be part of Rumble and now part of Locals as well. Thanks for the time, Dave. We appreciate it.
Dan, give me 10 more seconds to just say one thing, which is
sure,
in the last 5 years of my life, I've met a lot of people who talk. They talk for a living, and they talk and talk and talk, but they don't do anything.
I feel seen.
You do stuff, and that was a key part of me.
Yeah, you do. That's true. Thank you for bringing that up. Like, he did something like set up Parlor and then use the membership security trial version of the security software from WordPress and never pay for it and get everyone's personal info stolen to the tune of like 7 terabytes of shit, and never turn off never convert video and pictures onto Parlor's platform, resetting the metadata, using actually taking metadata from people's phones, making January 6th the most easily trackable dumbass coup in the history of America. Thank you, Parlor. Because Facebook and all those other places, it was hard to place. It looked like the Capitol, but the cops have to go through this thing. Okay, we got to go through this and show a picture of the person and we got to show in court with like multiple things. We go, here's the fucking picture. This is the hallway they were in. We know it's not a green screen because they're moving in this thing. And Your Honor, can I play the clip? And here's a clip of us in the actual hallway to prove they have to prove the person was in the place in the video that the person posted. Not with Parlor, baby. Not with Parlor. Parlor just go, Your Honor, Exhibit A, if you'll notice, is the metadata from this video. We're going to play this video right now. The metadata shows that this is exactly the video from the person's fucking phone because they were an asshole and signed up for Parlor, which gave us every piece of detail. And we didn't even have to get a warrant for it because some asshole dumped it on the internet.
To be part of this operation, because I was like, Dan doesn't just talk.
Operation is a good word for it. Because it's like an operation in the same way that you're walking through the park and you pass out because somebody puts a rag in front of your face and you wake up and your kidneys are fucking missing. That kind of an operation. Right, Dave?
He gets stuff done.
Thanks, Josh.
So this is just the beginning, man. I'm psyched to be with you on this adventure.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate. Well, likewise, you do as well, Dave, and that's why this partnership is good.
You do know how to rip off maggots just like I do.
A great symbiosis. So thanks for the time. We appreciate it. We'll see you soon.
Good seeing you.
You got it. All right, folks. Thanks again for tuning in to the Dan Bongino Show. I will see you all tomorrow.
No, you won't. And by the way, you're going to have to scrub this fucker. Yeah. That's going to have to go. I think once you leave your station, that's got to suck.